Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745, and if it's just welcome, I hope you will like the content enough to subscribe. And everybody, I hope you will like it enough to hit the like button. And of course, this is Gamer 1745, where I play historical games, talk about the history around them. But right now, we are looking very much at Manor Lords. It is a game coming out very soon. See, this guy's going off with a horse. He is like the official wandering trader. Well, this is our guy, or woman. And I hope whether you're going to get this game or you get this game, I hope these videos help you understand the economy of Manor Lords and how to grow and expand things. Okay, so we have this plot here, and it is now at level 2. We have the money, so we're going to create a brewery. You need to have a brewery if you're going to supply, as opposed to trade for beer for your tavern. Now, do note, when you turn a family into a cobbler shop or into a brewery, they're no longer part of this ability to sign them to other work. They become artisans and just do their artistry of brewing or making shoes or whatever it may be. Could be making weapons. Okay, so now we need to get 10 plots, which we have 25 at level 1. We need 7 plots at level 2, which we have 8, but we need 3 plots at level 3 or higher. So that means I need 2 more level 2 plots that we will then convert at some point into level 3 plots. So let's maybe grab here and upgrade to level 2. Still in March, but we're coming up to the April planting time here soon. And we're going to take people away from doing things like digging here, which we're at 30. So we're moving faster than we are turning them into tiles. So we're going to turn that down by 1 already. Okay, we're starting to grow here. Okay, so let's at least go to this speed. So, and we have no bread there, but we have 12 bread there, so we got plenty of food. So we're gonna stop you doing that. These guys are gonna keep doing their thing. We're going to stop the malt house because they're sort of, I think, used up all of their available grain. We're going to reduce you down. I think we're going to reduce you down. Well, yeah, 2, I think that'd be alright. Tanner. Let's reduce you down. Well, we're going to first come over here. We're going to do 2. 2. Get those to start harvesting here. Yeah, we're going to do 2 more here. What happens when I fully fill this up, these get jammed up. And so I want to keep the people going. I want to get that finished. Hello, IGN 0003. Oh, you're a bot of something, it seems like, Arno. I think IGN is a bot. Yeah. So, yeah. Seems like over formulaic and not English. Well, it doesn't, not being English as first language is not a problem, but it seems very bot-like.
Berries! Berries!
Reduce that down. We'll get back to production over on this whole thing. Okay, and now that it's good enough, let's see. We're going to start with 2, but I'm just sort of hoping that the upgrade here gets done. It looks like it is. Good. So we're going to populate this out. I'm going to pause this because I want to get everybody working that we can. Let's see. Over here, that's what we got. 16. That's good. For now, there we go. So we have Max working out here. Okay. This we want to do barley, and it is a very high priority level. This we want to do barley, and it's at medium. This field here is at high priority of assigning labor. We're going to go rye. This one we're going to leave fallow here. Well, very good, Arno. Yeah, Gem. New scuff bots don't get any love. True. And this one, we're actually going to go wheat. I know this would probably, I don't know. We're going to go wheat anyways, even though it may be a little better if we went rye. But there we go. So now we have currently max people assigned here. And they're going to go out here. A bunch of people assigned here that are hopefully picking lots of berries while they're growing. So you'll see them out over here. They're plowing away just with hose. Yep, they're a bunch of hose.
Cheated him? Never. Cheated him? Never. Perhaps he simply does not know how to cook properly.
I think this coming season these will be considered fully grown, so they'll properly put in apples into the marketplace, I'm hoping.
He spat it in my face and tried to guard me and
You do have a long lead time with those, but I hope they'll be both a good adding variety to our food economy, as well as we're going to reduce. We're going to fire him from this job, and we're going to send them out over here because I'm really, while this is in growth, I'm really hitting this hard here. Well, we have that, you know, triangle up green instead of down red. 25, 27,
It gets rainy like this, and I
27,
want to
so
get out of
that.
bed. It says her head hurts. Summer's coming soon.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna
Beating sun.
stop you. 2 at that granary, 1 here, so get some people hauling the bushels, I don't know, bunches of berries back to the different granaries. Yep, keep working. It's raining. I know. Keep working. Keep working.
Step right up and sample.
Now, peasants. Peasants are peasants. They don't deal much with in this game in definitions here. Peasants in sort of Western Central Europe, as I understand them, and I know it can vary in different regions. They're sharecroppers in that,
Vegetables,
generally
potatoes,
speaking,
greens,
they
berries.
again, from my understanding, is the way this would work
Firewood.
would be, and we're assigning people and doing things differently, but the way this would work is one, say, family would get
Gave the old ox a hand.
a certain amount of land that was for agriculture. So they would maybe get like this section here of this field here, and then they would get, say, this section of this field here. Maybe really often did it strips. So this section of this field here, this section of this field here, and this section of this field here. And so this way, they, if one area was particularly either lying fallow or one area was, particularly more, generally fertile, generally. So that, you got maybe some really good land, some okay land, some bad land, and that type of thing. That's my understanding is generally how it was laid out. Now, they would also have to give, and then they would give up a percent. Remember, it sort of does this save thing and it jumps like that at times, to the Manor Lord of what to do. Plus, they would also have to say, if there was, instead, maybe this field here that doesn't exist, but let's presume that there's this field here, there's this field sort of along here, and there's this other field along here that directly are sort of owned by the Manor Lord. This is how I've been taught it. And again, it can vary in different areas. Are directly sort of owned by the Manor Lord, but they would have to also work those fields too. So they would get to keep all of the crop here minus their tax, which the tax would be a percentage of the crop. So if it's, I don't know what the tax rate was, but let's just say it's 20%. So, and let's say you got 10 bushels of whatever. Okay, so you have to give up 2. Now, if you got, now if you could do a little better and say get 12 bushels here, well, fine. You just give up, a little bit more. And so it's a percentage base. So the harder you work, the better you work, you get to keep more. Now, on the sort of Lord's plot, well, he takes it all. You're just providing the labor. So you have incentive to work here because it's part of your contract, but you don't want to work too hard. You want to keep the Lord happy so he doesn't get mad at you. But you want to keep it here. So that's my understanding of how this works. Now, proper peasants, and again, it varies over time. At some points, peasants become they get to set the rules at some points because, especially during the Black Death, the plague years, and sort of following it, so many people have died. Peasants themselves are very valuable. And so, you know, if peasants were to decide to leave, now they weren't allowed to leave legally, but obviously things could happen. Um, so they were contractually, and peasants are proper peasants are people that are tied to the land, but they also again have certain property rights. And now it isn't like later, like by the time you're getting into the Renaissance, and it takes time for the, at least in Britain, and I know the history there the best, is the different enclosure acts. There are still a few, and they're very rare, and they're sort of kept up by tradition, that land, just like I described to you, that you know, sliver here, sliver there, sliver that. That's every sort of season remarked out whose area is what, and go and you farm it. Starting in the, you know, with the Renaissance and moving into the 18th century, you're getting enclosure acts in Britain that would say, instead of having all these different slivers, this one plot belongs to somebody, this other plot belongs to somebody else, and then you're getting that going on, and yeah, that's changing more to proper property rights. So this is a mixed economy in that some of it you're benefited more by your hard work and your ingenuity. Some of it is, you know, you're contractually just purely working for somebody else. So it's a really sort of a mixed thing. It's very, very far from slavery. It's more of a inherited union job, is what I would say. You know, that you can't leave. So it's, you know, and if you've ever been part of a, you know, a company that works that has unions, especially if they have multiple unions in the company, that different jobs are done by different um, people, and so, oh yeah, that we need that cleaned up over here. Oh, you mean the person, the cleaning union person isn't here? Well, too bad. Oh, we need the lights changed. Oh, well, that's the carpentry union, even though, or something. Well, we can't go. We got the ladders, we got the stuff, we can put the bulbs in, but no, that's the other union job. And it's not like, oh, I refuse to do another job. No, those people will come over and get mad at you, and maybe even get you fired or penalized or whatever if you go do somebody else's union job, even if they're not there and nobody's there that day. And if you can't work in the dark because it's too dark, as opposed to just one light bulb being out in a big area or something, well, too bad. You got to stop working until the right union guy shows up. And so, and the union is, you know, well protected. So this is how I understand, at least in a lot of areas in Western Europe. Now you go to Russia, peasants are really slaves, and they're bought and sold between you know, the nobility, and may not quite be like you know, the American slavery situation, but I don't know how far from it. So that's very different. And again, I don't know every different region and how it varied. But and for Russia, that peasant, basically owning peasants, goes right up until the Russian Revolution. So yeah. So now, what you would find is maybe not quite a cobbler's shop like in this game, because these games have artificially defined rules, but we would find something like a cobbler who would have his tools in a community like this, would have his tools, his workbench, and you know, a certain amount of leather to make footwear, shoes, boots, whatever you want to call them. It can vary. And that's a person who might also have the whole set strips of land. And so he's, you know, when it's planting season or harvesting season, you know, when you're actually doing all the work, he's not making any shoes. He's out doing the other stuff. It's like in winter, or just in the evening, or now they go to sleep when it gets dark because light is expensive at night. to really see by. I mean, yeah, you may have a fire set, but still, if you try to do anything by firelight, really, yeah, it's not that easy, not that good.
And the rain is still.
So, but you know, when it's not the busy seasons, he's making his shoes, he's doing that kind of leather work, and so they would so it's sort of multifaceted, and money or income, which may not be money, it may be earning some eggs, earning some apples, earning some goat's milk, or whatever from somebody else's little operation here, that wouldn't necessarily be taxed by the man. That is something sort of side job, if you will. So that is how I was taught about how basically, and yes, like I say, it changes over time. Sometimes there's a lot of labor, lots of people. Like if you look at the Doomsday Book, which is a very, very interesting book. I've never read it because there's nothing you read. What it is a survey. It's the lands owned by William the Conqueror in Britain, that they go in and do a survey of everybody. Thanks for all the posts over on Rumble, Arno. It does help over there. Thank you. It says 6 people watching. Hi, if there's anybody actually watching now, I don't know. But it's a survey that goes from community to community. It says how many oxen, how many sheep, and who owns what, and who owns what parcels of land. So it's not really a book you read, the Doomsday Book. I definitely read modern typed out passages from it, because if you look at the script that they were writing in, was nothing I could readily read. And so now that's right around 1100. It's after 1066, but it's a ways after it that the Doomsday Book is written. And so with that, you go into, and that they talk about it. Now, you have different classes of people. One class, which is interesting, is the villains. The villains. And those were not Robin and his merry men out in the woods robbing people. Villains were just people that did not have land rights, did not have just looking to see how this is going, did not have any other sort of jobs, any other sort of status. Basically, people living in a community that did day work. They didn't have a profession. It was just like, and most people were not homeless. Most people, maybe they didn't have a plot like this, with something going on in the back, but they could have a hut over the side somewhere, a place to sleep. And these would be just your sort of like you're unassigned here in the game, in that they would, obviously get lots of work during planting and harvest season, and if the tree cutter needed some extra labor, they'd hire them for the day, and that kind of thing. And they're sort of labor around, and that's where we get the word villain from. It comes from that, a villain. And that is before English. That's prior to English as a word. Villains. I think that's coming from the French, but yeah. Because they did not speak English in 1100 AD, or 1100s AD in England. They did not speak English. I could not understand the people then. Whenever I've heard their language, it sounds so familiar, but just out of reach of understanding it. Just the rhythm and the sounds are just so close to English, but it's just not. so I just can't grasp it.
He spat it in my face. Tried to carve me a new nipple.
And of course, I'm talking about Anglo-Saxon. And the Normans were speaking Norman French, or the French from Normandy. And there were different versions of French back then, so... and it's the blending of those two. Okay, so you can see here, we are pumping through all of these. Okay, now, we are no longer in the growing season, so we are stripping out the last of this. But we have 45 there. Looks like some of the other ones were moved. 48 there. A lot more than just, I think, because we have, there was about 100 before. 154 here. And 129. So we've really pumped out well more than the, 128 that could have, or if we let it filled up and just got it once. So we've pumped through all of that. I think we will reduce that down by 1 right now as we get rid of the last of these. And these guys here are still just working on plowing. They're going to get to sowing. So basically, as you can see here, we're into July, and this will, I think, get through and be harvested in time. But that's about how much land currently, because we do not yet have the plow. I don't know how much that will help. I haven't really played with having the plow. Okay, you can completely close down. They'll move this rest over to somewhere. Okay, we don't need that, but we can move somebody over to here now. Grow more, or not grow. Well, I guess it does sort of rise. Bread does rise, unless you're making tortillas. Okay, so we've replenished a lot of the forest over to there. Now you can see we're at 790. Now. Okay, 2 unemployed. Okay, we're going to go down to 1, down to 1. Because I want more people, so I need more. I was going to slow this up to here. Okay, housing. Again, you the first line you want to draw.
Quality, he said. Impossible.
Let's not that. Let's do this. Yeah, just 3 houses, I think, here. Take down one of the trees. I was hoping not to take down both. Well, we didn't take down both. I was hoping both of those would stay up. But all right. I sort of like the looks of having some trees around. Doesn't really matter in the game, I don't think. They are intending to add smell, work in progress, and fire hazard, work in progress, as an overlay. So, I don't know, like the tannery, or I don't know if goats, I understand, smell awful. So, okay, this is completely done. So, that will minus out here. We'll allow granary people to come and take the rest of what is going on there. Iron advance. We're gonna tell it to sort of harvest in that area. Now we now have a brewery. So but first, okay. Okay, let's see here. Yes. Yeah, let's see about doing that. I like that idea. Okay, we're going to put a sheep farm here. And we're going to come and put a field. Here. And this is sort of a traditional way of doing it, is putting sheep onto a field that, or an area, not necessarily had to be a field, but an area, open area, yes. I guess it would be a field. But on something that is a bit too steep to readily farm. I know people like Arno don't understand this idea because he lives in the Netherlands, and there is nothing too steep to farm, just too wet as in underwater. Now the other thing we're going to do here is come over to commerce, and we're going to get a livestock trading post, and we can put that also sort of on the side of the hill. So those 5 people, or 5 families I should say, are going to hopefully build all that. Okay, up here, this barley field, okay, that is... Okay, basically I think they have... Oh no, they're still sowing it, okay. Some of it is just starting to grow. They're still sowing out there. That will deal pretty good. Yield, that's coming fairly soon. Oh, I don't want to force early. Do that. Okay, we're undoing that. Hopefully that's better. Maybe I waited a little too late. As we can see, it's, I don't know what that 10 to 8 is, but we're 25% growth. We're gonna wait that out. Okay, so they're building and getting goods there. These guys are already okay. Yeah, we're highest priority. I'm finished sewing that.
Come on.
Why do I have to carry this alone?
I think we've got enough forests sort of right now.
You'll not find finer wares
These guys are doing
anywhere
that.
else.
I'll put a few more people to get some of these other buildings. Sheep farm. And a
Step right up and sample.
trading post for that eventually. We want to get these though done first. And we have 3 oxen moving timbers. So 1 plot is done. 2 plots are done. Three plots. Okay, that means that we will get some more people moving in soon. And I think I will build another farmhouse for next season to be able to handle these other fields a little quicker, a little better. This is taken into July. That's a bit long. Yeah, these are going to yield good here.
Berries so fun. Eat them by the bushel.
Don't be shy, good sirs and ladies.
Freshly baked and still warm from the oven. Don't be shy, good sirs.
Don't be shy, good sirs and ladies.
You will not find finer wares anywhere else. Don't be shy, good sirs and ladies. Finest pies in all the land. From the oven.
Okay, so that field is now sown.
Feast your eyes on our fine selection. Come on, come on.
Poor quality, you said.
Let's slow this up again. Go down. Let's get the clay furnace up and going. Let's get our clay pit up and going, at least with one family per. We're going to actually not start to soon to, because we're into August, get some of these fields done. Let's come down here. We got that. So let's get the hunting cat going. Alright, well, these are built. Pasture space, more pasture space up there for 47. We are going to get this going and we're going to trade. We want to buy sheep. Import sheep. Let's buy 10 at 30 apiece. So that'd be 300.
You'll not find finer wares anywhere else.
Don't be shy, good sirs and ladies. Berries, berries. You want to eat them by the bushel.
So these are the new ones. Has anybody moved in yet? Yes, okay, so these are not moved in there yet. No. Not moved in there, so only one of them is inhabited so far of the new plots. Okay, we are still working through that. Okay. Now we're going to turn on the tavern. We have here currently 11 and 5, so 16 barrels of beer, basically. We can get these guys going because we want to get, I think I have, we need yeah, one more level 2. So we will turn, no, we want to do this. Turn that into a level 2 building. Now when we click here, hopefully soon they will have tavern supply.
Look,
speed here again. Okay, I want to save this just because we've had some issues upgrading some things. So save this, and then we're going to return and continue, and we're going to pause this, and we're going to take a look at. Let's see this house. Okay, so to upgrade it to level 3, it needs 4 tiles, 8 planks, 4 lumber, and 25 silver. So we will do that. And yeah, we have enough of all of that. So let's also upgrade this one.
Come on.
Come on. Leather.
You can. Okay. Now we still have people here. D6.
Carrots, cabbages, turnips.
What are we using up? We're quickly using up, but we've already got that. Not here, this one. The beer. The beer gets used fast. You can see a whole new standard house. Plus, it will also hold 2 families. Don't know how common that was. I don't know if this is just a game thing, in that this is more densely populated now, or if this is a real thing that you, whether this is just like an extended family, like parent, you know, mother and father plus adult children and their wives and then their families. I'm not sure exactly what that is supposed to be. Okay, now we're starting to get into a little bit of rough weather here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to force early harvest on this field by 8 days. So now of the 4 families that are still assigned there, they should head out and do that. Harvesting the barley there.
Hey, you! No slacking off.
Okay, they've got almost all their goods. Get more families there. Oh, we are full of... No, what is... A furnace? No, what? I don't know. What is...
Fields need a bit of a drink.
Here's what you're talking about, I guess. I don't know. Now, once you get this to here, they want a tavern supply, or your overall approval will fall. That is partially why I rushed this just a little early. Get this done. They're waiting on 2 more logs. You can see them picking up here now. They do have. I don't know why they're okay. Okay, they got. You know, we're gonna need to get the malt house. They're harvesting, and read a little bit about the grain being out here. Now notice when I come over here, I get exposed stocks. Yeah, field. We need to get these things going. New development point. So we're gonna put people there. And now, okay, so we have a new development point. So we're here, and this is. It's designed so you can specialize. I think it's a bit slow to get going, but we're gonna do heavy plow next here. So we're gonna close here, and then we're gonna come over here and the farmhouse. Okay, so we're gonna do that, but yeah, we're gonna do that now. It doesn't really matter because we're not plowing anything at the moment. Environment's not bad. Fuel. Do we have somebody still working the fuel? Yes, we do. And we have a lot of fuel in the... They're just not getting to the right house here. You can come here and hover over here and see who's not getting what they need. Hello! Is that Felipe? I guess that's who you are. Use different names as a... I think that's who... I think I know who you are. Okay, so, did we ever get in the sheep? Okay, we got 2 sheep in. Ah, yes, we've got 2 sheep. There's one. And I don't see the other one. I've often not seen enough sheep around compared to what they say they have. Okay, well, we're going to put somebody here on the pasture as well. Because we've maxed out our people there in the working here. Harvest as quickly as possible. I know speeding it up doesn't really speed up the harvest, just speed up my waiting for things. Alright, has people in it. Does that have people in it? Yeah, good. Does that have people in it? No people there yet.
I wonder who's floating away today. Hasn't stopped
Yes.
for a while.
Oh yeah, no, Brazil has become a big topic. This is one of those conditions of be careful what you ask for. Oh, good. We got another family member here, or family coming here. Not another member, another family in the community. A lot of the American political establishment, in both right and left, wanted to get rid of Bolsonaro. Bolsonaro was another Trump, and he was just destroying the rainforest and destroying Brazil and just destroying and whatever else. And then, so anybody but Bolsonaro, so they got Lula, or however you say his name. Livestock here. Thrashing priority, medium. Okay, permanent livestock. Is he gonna move over here? Does he leave? Those deets. here? I don't know. We'll see how this goes. And so I think, and they accepted when, oh yeah, okay, so we got this guy working the field there. Maybe picking up, okay, transporting barley. So maybe that's doing more barley than just, you know, one load. And when, like, the judge, whatever his name is, I know Felipe knows, but when the judge ruled against Bolsonaro's favor over certain things going on, I think in Rio de Janeiro and other places, that there may have been, you know, irregularities in voting or whatever. And the Supreme Court, no, it's all good, and everybody's cheering, yay, 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 Bolsonaro's gonna lose, yay, yay, yay. And now you've got this guy here who, I don't know, yeah, Alexandre de Morales. I don't know whether he, you know, who's really in charge? Is it him or is it Lula? Now, or is it a combination? Because, yeah, the judge can declare what the judge wants to declare, but how much power, once he declares something, does he really have? You know, the judges normally don't order soldiers around. Okay, so nothing inside. So the barley, oh, come on. Come on, people, get the... Oh, they're starting to harvest this field now. Oh, they're getting the barley off this. Field priority very hard. We're going to turn off that. Maybe the barley's going to go to here? I don't know. That's not a person there, though. You know, so judges can, you know, rule this way or that way on whatever. It's the normally head of state, the president, or the prime minister or whatever, depending on your governmental structure, that normally, you know, then orders the enforcement, you know, the bureaucracy or the police or the army to do stuff. So I don't know. I mean, everyone's talking about Morales, but and his rulings, yes. And I'm not saying his rulings aren't important, but I don't know if, you know, chicken or the egg. Who's telling who what? The pasture now has 4 sheep in it. Yeah, Elon, well, okay, he's definitely changed the conversation. I don't know if he's changed much on the ground in Brazil. Maybe he, you know, Felipe is saying he has, and if he has, great. People, I mean, people are always worthy of criticism, okay? People always are, because, okay, well, now they've got the 30 some grains there, and there's 24 here, so I guess they're moving it back and forth. I don't know. Okay, we're going to build another... I think this looks like a good spot. It's not that fertile of a ground. We can look at barley fields. Rye, be up there. Barley, flax if we were to go for cloves. Wheat, emmer there. Okay, so this, we're going to go to fallow for the next year. And if Elon Musk has both allowed Bullhorn, if you will, to shout out at the world, just his presence, but he also has infrastructure, which is Twitter, but also we're going to, okay, we'll let the farmhouse get completed first. infrastructure, both in Twitter and Starlink. I don't know if people realize. I mean, probably, Elon Musk is called the richest man in the world, and that could be true. Because there are some rich people that are not very publicly prominent, and their actual holdings are, like, who the guy who basically owns Liechtenstein? He's maybe more rich than Elon Musk. I mean, so there's some people that are quiet, but own a lot more than Musk. Own more. I think. I don't know this is a fact, but it does seem that way from what I can tell. But Elon Musk is one of the richest people. But what he has done, and periodically he's criticized by our current U.S. government because they don't like him. But they can't really do too much to him, because if they were to go after him, they need him because he owns SpaceX. Yeah, they could nationalize it, but if they were actually nationalize SpaceX, we'll grab 2 more people to do some of the work here on whatever farms. No, well, whatever. We're getting into September, and I want to get the harvest done and through and up and going. Did we get everything off that field? Yes, good. We got stuff off that field. And in here, in the United States, if you were to do the fight to nationalize SpaceX, it would be a horrendous fight. It would be very upsetting to our system. Because you would have to have a huge... Yeah, we're putting more people onto the... farming situation here. And it would cause great disruption if you were to nationalize SpaceX. So that... And realize... To my knowledge, the organization, whether it's a business company or NASA or whatever, the company that's putting the most payloads into orbit is SpaceX. So all of the U.S. spy satellites, the rods from God, are probably going up on his rockets. Other things that are going up into orbit that the U.S. probably wouldn't even want me to talking about the rods from God. But to get those up into orbit... Oh, we don't want to plow. I want to go fallow. Fallow for now. No plowing. We're just harvesting this season. We're not going to start. I do want to... Okay, we are going... forced early harvest now. Yes. Go in there and get those. Go get that stuff. And so, to do all that stuff, the government needs Elon Musk to use SpaceX or no, Starlink, which is being used in Brazil, which is being used in Ukraine, to be able to have those services function. You need Elon Musk. So, although they're really upset with his politics and Twitter and whatnot, what can they do to him? Not much. They need him. Yeah, I know. If he were, if he were doing something completely wacky, yeah, the government would take it over. But just because of his statements or his attitudes, they're not. And so he has the, you can't, unless they're going to And there are kill switches for the internet. And I do believe the U.S. still maintains controls of them, at least internationally, because so much of the data that's going in between countries on the internet actually comes through the U.S. And unless the U.S. is really going to, within a country, sure, they can do that. But even often still within countries around Europe, it still bounces back to the U.S., just the way it's sort of set up functionally. So, yeah, they could kill this stuff. But unless it isn't just like a simple ISP, because having Starlink and Twitter, that's sort of, functioning through his own infrastructure. So he has uniquely positioned himself to control a lot of human communication, and that you cannot cut him out of the loop just because you don't like him. Because Brazil cannot stop, literally cannot, unless Brazil is going to literally shut down its internet. There is no way they can stop Elon Musk and Twitter there. There's just no way they can do that. Because of VPNs, so if you get on a VPN, so even if they were to locally turn off Twitter, well, if you have SpaceX and you can keep it, the way I understand it normally works is you normally get the local country's permission to have, not SpaceX, but Starlink turned on for your country. That's normally the polite way to do it. But you don't have to have that local country's permission to turn it on for the region. Obviously, you sort of need it if you're going to openly. Oh, I don't want to do this. Nope. Foul it. We don't want to this winter start harvesting any of these fields. We're going to wait till spring to do that. Okay, so let's actually pause this. We're going to go down to just one. And here we're going to, how many? Oh, there's hardly anything here, so let's just go down to one guy. All right, so that's giving us 9 people here. Let's get back to, okay, we never did shut that down. All right, good. Malt house, let's get some malting going on. What are we doing out here for clay? We got 1 person, let's increase that. Now, we have food storage. Okay, and that. Did they sell all of our... Oh boy. Okay, that's more than I wanted to go there. We can live with this, but desired surplus. Let's go. We're gonna go. I don't know. We're gonna do 300. I don't know if it'll put any back, but I don't want to take any more out. I should have moved that up higher. I wanted to turn a lot of that surplus into dyes. And so Elon Musk can put anything he wants up into orbit. Because of SpaceX. He can also do it the cheapest, I believe, of anybody. He has his own satellites up there. He controls one of the major communication nodes on the planet. He would be the perfect supervillain, wouldn't he? Wonder if he is. A supervillain, that is. Okay, so, no, we don't need that because we're almost full there. Right. Okay, so now, to go to the next level, we need 10, 10, and 10. So we need 7 more level 3s. Which means we need 7 more level 2s to then be able to turn into level 3s, because we need that there. So, to keep the people satisfied, we need tavern access. We got 40 there, 28 there, good. And 40 there. Okay, good. So I think with the... Oh, no, I keep that one. That's the house. Okay. You keep that going. I think we're going to be good, and we have the brewery there. Let's turn that into a goat. Do we have one guy? Yeah, out here hunting. Yeah, I think we'll leave that at just one guy hunting. Let's see, I'm looking around. That is a level 1, so we'll turn that into a level 2. And that is also level 1. Okay. But I think it's time to end this episode. The live stream's going to keep going, guys, but this episode's going to end, so I'm going to thank everyone that made it this far. I'm really enjoying Manor Lords. I know at this point nobody else... Well, there's obviously a few of us who have copies of Manor Lords. And I even love that the rain is streaming off these buildings right now. That's looking really cool. I know. Again, this is designed and built basically by one person. So this isn't some big AAA studio that has huge amount of resources. That's why I'm sort of marveling at all this stuff in this game. So I know there's a few of us who have copies of this game. But you'll be able to get your hands on it, I believe, in about 2 weeks, depending on when you're watching this. Hope this helps you decide whether the game is for you or not. I don't even know the price yet. They may have announced it. So everyone keep that in mind. See you next time for more historical games.